you're not able to have a complete control on your P&L. You're not getting a very clear picture of where do you stand today. Many a times I have seen the situations in project side that because a lot of entries are not done, people just go ahead and carry out provisional entries. It may be correct, it may not be correct. But with the proper system, having proper data going in the system, you'll always get a very clear picture. Where do you stand? If I look at, say, a real estate industry, if I don't have control over how many people are actually, interested in my project, how many leads are coming, whether I am doing proper follow-up of the leads or opportunity which are coming to me, what is my conversion rate? In real estate industry, which kind of media I am using for advertising purpose, which is giving me maximum returns. Once he becomes my customer, how much satisfaction I am achieving for my customer. And finally, whatever we talk about is if the transaction is happening, how it is hitting my accounts and thereby my P&L, where I am going to see all those things. Now with a very proper business implementation, I am using this word underline bold, that business implementation, in the sense that keeping in mind the business value that it is going to give, if we carry out that kind of implementation for the industry, then definitely it gives value. I understand that it's not as easy as it is said, because there is a lot of pain. My friends who have already gone through SAP implementation, they know how much pain they have to go through it, because it's an entire a business process transformation that takes place. People are always resistant to this kind of systems. They are going to be there worldwide. It is proved that nobody wants this kind of systems for simple reason. It brings accountability, it brings transparency, it brings a discipline within the organization, and as a human being everybody resists those things. But let me tell you, these are always the initial phenomena. If you get onto it, you do it right, and then you can just reap the benefits of it. I'll tell you, I have seen the examples wherever we have implemented, after a few years, people just cannot work without these sophisticated softwares, because they know the value of it. Some of the things I know I'm not reading my slides, I'm talking extempore, whatever is coming to my mind. But just to get onto my slides, say for example, in construction industry, you have BOQs. There are certain specifications for those BOQs. But when you actually carry out the work, there are going to be some changes. A site engineer, a supervisor, a designer comes and tells something to do differently. In the interest of work, you don't stop for all those paperworks or all those things. What you do is you carry out those changes. Client verbally says, okay, we'll see, we'll compensate for it. These things do happen at each project site. But then, are you capturing them properly? Where does it go in the system? Is system going to tell you that the changes have happened from my initial specs and you have not raised any change order for that? Or the scenarios like, I have got contractor or subcontractor working at my project site. I issue some material to that guy, which I'm not supposed to, and that material I just forget to debit. Intentionally or unintentionally. Is system stopping all those things? I would say these kind of challenges are there in infrastructure industry, or even real estate industry will have different kind of challenges. Pratish is going to speak afterwards, so he can put a lot of emphasis on real estate industry. I spoke more from infrastructure industry point of view. Another, one point I'd like to touch upon. You can tell me if I'm taking too much of time. Yeah, have I exhausted? Yeah. Uniform processes in the sense, see what happens. Many a times, as organizations start growing, you end up taking many people from different organizations. As project managers say. Now, those people coming from big organization or whatever good organization joining your organization, they have worked in certain environment, certain way of working. They try to impose those systems for their authority area. Now, we cannot say that those systems are not good. Their systems might be good, right? But everybody trying to bring his own system in his project. Imagine what would happen to ownership level or top management level. Those systems are very good at individual level, individual projects, but then at the top management, he doesn't know how to look at that data. He'll have to keep on interpreting. And finally, he doesn't get a real clear picture about it. Another thing, a person comes from another organization, top organization, he tries to bring some system and he leaves midway. Are other people totally geared up to take up that system? It starts getting into complete mess. And I have seen number of organizations. Let me tell you, typically I have seen this scenario happening in Hyderabad-based companies, which had gone too fast, too quick, from small to big. So they had to take too many people from outside, and then later on system going for complete toss. Imagine if they had a very well set systems in the organizations like ERP running, then there would not have been a scope for new project manager to come and apply his own systems project wise. He would have to follow the systems which are existing over there. And let me tell you, initially all those things may look like that, it's a bit difficult, bit rigid, but over a period of time, everybody gets into it. It's like using Excel sheets. People don't have to even take any training because, like we normally don't take training on Excel. We just go along with our colleagues, we learn Excel and start using it. Similarly, I have seen in most of those organizations, new person comes in, his colleagues start teaching him how to, operate his area of operations and start using it. In a value chain, typically, you start with very basic IT infrastructure. You'll have a data center, LAN, systems like mail server would be there. The tools like MS Office, MS Projects, Primavera you start using. Then you start getting into a very proper transaction system, and you also attach a line of business software. Let me tell you, SAP ERP is for transaction system. Many a times, whenever I go for presentation, people ask me whether it will do a quantity calculation for me, whether it will automatically tell me from my drawings how much is the quantity. I straightway tell them no, it is not for that. It will not do anything in that area. But then what will it do? If you provide a base quantity, BOQ quantity, whatever is required to do beyond that point, it will do it for you. So, a transaction perspective, everything will be handled by this system. And then whatever data comes out of your ERP system, you can apply a lot of intelligence if the data comes in a very intelligent form. When I am saying very intelligent form, let me give you a very simple example. Say, for example, in most of the organizations where we have implemented those business intelligence tool. Say, for example, it is implemented for HR area. A person at HR head office level or say HR GM is able to carry out all combinations and permutations. Say, for example, a civil engineer with 10 years of experience who comes from Chennai region, because I am going to have a project in Chennai, so I need to have a person who knows that region very well, who is civil engineer but 10 years of experience for that particular position. I just put those parameters and I get a complete information about all those people. I also get information from when these people are going to be made available. till when they are booked by which projects. So that kind of intelligence you can start bringing into it. This is one side of it I told you. Another side of it is whatever data that is coming in the base system, you pull it into intelligence system and you will create the dashboards. A dashboard is nothing like a cockpit, as you know, aircraft cockpit kind of thing, wherein your top management will be graphically, pictorially be able to see where do we stand. And what I'll do is, quickly, I think I'm taking a lot of time. In 5 minutes I'll wrap up. I will show you one dashboard, how it looks. A business intelligence system straightway. For simple reason, because if we have to get into the entire ERP system, it's a huge time-taking thing. Obviously, we will interact with each other, we'll share our cards, and we can arrange a very detailed presentation on entire ERP system for you. Here I'm just trying to give you some glimpse. You'll have to excuse me, it's not a realistic data. It's just it's a demo dashboard that we have created for real estate industry. So there may not be data everywhere available. Say for example, what happens? You can see here everywhere you just have to say click on customer. You will get the dashboard related to it. Say project management related dashboard. I'll just explain you how it is developed. See, you will find that there are always three kind of colors are used, green, yellow and red. This is nothing but a very simple traffic light signal system. What does it mean? Base parameters are decided here. Anything would be measured planned versus actual. If planned versus actual is within 10% plus or minus, we say that it is in yellow range. If it is much more than that 110%, then we are saying that it is going into absolute green zone. And if it is less than 90%, then we are saying it is in red zone. Now, this is just a depiction. We can define our own way of working. Now, here you can see that on sales front, project 1 is in green, but project 4 and 5 are in red. You can see here, one can also start analyzing that even though project 1 is in green, of late it is not doing that great, which it was doing earlier. Similarly, the project 5, which is in red, which has gone into red, even though it had got 2 greens, because the red was terribly bad. This particular quarter was terribly bad. So one can start drilling down in more details about it. So this dashboard will have number of levels. You start going into one level, you get the feel of it, a pictorial feel, then start getting into next level, third level, and most importantly, all that data would be coming from your base ERP system. So that is a trustworthy data. Say for example, I click on unit availability status. Say, I have got various kind of offerings, a residential offering, commercial offering, industrial IT parks, and some others offerings are grouped into others. In one go, I'll be able to see a situation where do I stand in each project. Project, and you will get a clarity about how much is sold, how much is available, and for various reasons how much is hold. I mean, it's held for maybe it's the investor's property wherein he doesn't want to sell it at this point in time, or some other restrictions are there, you don't want to sell them. But you will have all those parameters available, and system has already pulled that data from base system and it is available to you. Similarly, you can go into say another area like customers. What is the lead conversion happening? How that lead conversion is happening at all the projects? Because many a times many people keep on coming to you. you can attach various parameters for those people's visit. Say, for example, wherever we have implemented at number of real estate companies. I really like one example in one of the real estate company where we implemented. We learned from that company that he said that that owner told us that if a person is coming alone, for me, it's okay. It's not a great value. If person is coming with family, I attach more importance to it because he is little bit more serious. If person is coming number of times, probably he is serious. But if person is coming with family number of times, then he is my target fellow. Now, you have your own way, your experience is there from your industry. You can attach all those parameters to such events happening. And every time person comes, you are just going to capture very base level information. A system will keep on doing its calculation and keep on throwing its analysis. And you will always have visibility that, how many leads were there, how many of them got into converted into opportunities got converted into your clients, or you may have your own terminology wherein more levels are there. You can define your own levels. But the fact is that you capture the base data and system keeps on doing all the calculation based on the parameters and throws you a pictorial view of the same. So this is all on a dashboard side. Today I'll not get into all the details of all those dashboards. Now if you have any questions, I would love to take those questions. Informal, whatever is coming to your mind, very basic things, whatever is coming, let's discuss that even now also, which will be benefit for everybody here. Yeah. If you see most of our clients, that was thinking long back. I would say some 7-8 years back, people used to think that way. But if you see, most of my clients are having turnover between say 150, 200, 300 crores. So I wouldn't be saying that you'll be able to implement, or organization will be able to take value for very small organizations. But I would say SME, everywhere SMEs are implementing, small and medium sector. It's not small, it's actually a medium sector, medium turnover sector. Those are implementing. And I'll tell you an example. I can take the names of the organization also. There is nothing confidential. The Monte Carlo organization in Ahmedabad. When I went to them, it's from Ahmedabad, and they're into infrastructure construction. I was surprised when we were called there. We presented to their chairman Kanubhai Patel. And he said that I want to go for this system, SAP system, if you are able to really show me value out of it. And they were small at that time. Small means they must be somewhere around 170, 180 crores. I asked him straight question, sir, why are you looking at SAP-like software when, normally in the market in those times, people were not looking at such softwares, big softwares. He said, see, this is the time when I want to set it right. If I go on trying with various small ERPs, probably I'll lose the intent to go for a bigger world-class things, and I will become so habitual with whatever I have, I will feel that this is the life for me, and I'll never be able to graduate myself to that. But I know other side of it is making that as a culture within my organization is a challenge, and I will drive it myself through my two sons, and who were quite literate, engineers themselves, and they drove it beautifully. I would rank that implementation as one of the best implementations in small sector, in construction sector. And I would say that, as such, they internalize it very, very fast. Very fast. So may not be for small sector, but medium sector definitely. Pardon, sir? No, sir, implementation typically for medium sector, wherever we have implemented, it's say 4 to 5 months of time you can take. Now, when we say 4 to 5 months of time, typically how we propose, I'll tell you. Go for headquarters for sure, and in first go live, target few projects. You can configure all the projects in the system, but don't implement in one go for all the projects. The reason being, it's not the technology implementation only. You have to make people work, you have to make people enter data, and you have to make people enter right quantity, right quality data and get value out of it. If technically I do everything together, everybody starts creating problem, and at the core team level or at the even your implementers level, it becomes impossible to manage. So that is how we advise that, go step by step, but make sure that you become a real SAP user rather than for namesake using SAP. Pardon? Yeah. See, if you look at cost, there are three major components. I'm not counting your in-house cost. I'm counting about three major components. Like one is your license, SAP licenses. Second is a portion about your hardware component, and third is implementation partner. Now, implementation partner, that is where we Hybar come into picture. Hardware partner, wherein Avinash, Hitachi, they come in picture. And SAP is there who sells SAP licenses. So that is how it's a very clear demarcation between them. Now, your cost of implementation will depend on two factors. One is how many licenses you will be going for. That we study. We find out that how many licenses will be required by your organization. And second thing, what all the things you will be implementing first. In the sense that, are we going to go only for base ERP? Or we are going to go for something over and above that. Something and over and above that could be, say, ESS MSS, Employee Self-Service Portal, or say business analytics, which I showed you, which will have some additional cost sitting on that. So what I would say that if you permit us that to interact with your colleagues or yourself, we will come and we'll give you a very clear picture about ballpark figure for your organization.